Mental health or physical health, both are same only. If the mental health is not good, physical health will go. It's all one unit only in the end. Everything is subjected to change. So if you take an atom of every component, they are powerful. They are revolving. When the lunar gets into wrong positions, or it is on the downward thing, nicham, you become a mental patient. So everybody has got their own character. Saturn is the lifespan. He decides your birth and death. If he gives boarding pass, you have to take the universal flight.
Does astrology play a part in our physical and mental health? Mental illness is a subject not often addressed in astrology. One reason may be the emphasis on prediction in Vedic astrology, leaving psychological astrology to Western astrologers. Is it because many astrologers, Vedic or otherwise, simply do not feel equipped or knowledgeable enough to deal with this subject? Let's get into the show with the star Dr. CKN, a psychologist, molecular scientist, and the innovator of low glycemic diabetic friendly sugar. Welcome to Dr. C.K.Nandagopalan's YouTube channel. I'm your host, Susan. Welcome, Doctor.
Welcome to you, Susan.
Thank you, Doctor. Doctor, how or is it like really astrology related to our mental health, or does mental health is related to astrology? Please explain, Doctor.
Mental health or physical health, both are same only. If the mental health is not good, physical health will go.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all one unit only in the end.
That's true.
So whether it is science of behavior psychology or the physiology, anatomy, biochemistry and all that kind of thing. So everything is based on astrological science. Modern science is still struggling now.
Yes.
Science is going through its infancy period. It's hardly about 250, 300 years old. They are unable to, the Westerners are unable to accept this astrological science because the principles of science do not agree to it. But then astrological science is the one which is the basis for everything. So if you take this entire world, every component in this world, either it is a life material or a dead material, whatever you call it, there is nothing called dead material. Everything is subjected to change. So if you take an atom of every component, they are powerful. They are revolving inside. If you take a gold atom, there are so many protons and electrons are revolving inside. So you cannot call any material as dead. So the soul-related life is given to many things like marine biology and microorganisms and insects and birds and animals and reptiles and human beings and plant kingdom. It keeps going. So all these have a span of life. These living things, a human has a span of life.
Right.
You don't live here forever.
Yes.
You're born and you're gone one day. So what is that we are able to understand? What is that we are not able to understand? Is two different things. In the sense like astrological science, this solar system, and it has connection with 27 stars. It has connection with certain celestial bodies of group of stars. All that kind of thing. So 9 planets, 27 stars, 27 lagnas, 12 lagnas, 12 rasis and all this. The permutation combinations of it is huge. So what physiologically happens is a big question. It is totally different stuff altogether. If you take a human cell, it works on its own. It is not under your control. The command for the human cell is coming from outside. They have seen that in the recent experiments. When they take an epithelial cell and put it in the lab, it functions. When they even remove the cytoplasm and all the organelles inside, it still functions. They clearly understand from the command for the cells to function is coming from environment. So this is now recently been studied.
Okay.
So if you take an astrological science, when you are born, there is wherever the sun god is there, out of the 12 Rasi houses, that's your Lagna. Lagna is nothing other than your soul, a sun god.
Okay.
And the soul is nothing other than your gene. Gene is nothing other than your memory. The memory of the coding of the gene, whatever you call it.
So, doctor, can I interrupt you here because I'm curious to know that you say the sun sign. So, in which chart, like which position does the sun sign? Which place? If it is placed in which position, it means that you're very good. You have a very good mental health.
No. Sun is only the soul.
Soul. Okay.
He's got nothing to do with your brain.
Okay.
He is the soul who overall functions everything. It is the lunar, Manokaragan Chandran.
Okay.
Lunar.
The moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
The moon is the guy wherever he is sitting. Suppose if you are born in Anusha Nakshatram, the moon will be sitting in Vrishika Rasi, Scorpio house.
Okay.
So that decides your brain, your behavior.
So, in which position, if it's placed, will the person?
No, it depends on the other planets also.
Okay.
Basically, Chandran, lunar, the moon, he is both mind and body, both. You cannot separate mind and body here.
Okay.
They are one.
Okay.
When the lunar gets into wrong positions, or it is in the downward thing, nicham, you become a mental patient. You got it now?
Yeah. You said there are 12 positions.
No. It is not like that.
Okay.
It is a science which you cannot understand. You will not be able to understand, in the sense like, if the lunar is in the wrong position, he can sit in any house.
Okay.
It's not a thing. If other planets are going to sit with him, you're gone. So everybody has got their own character. Saturn is the lifespan. He decides your birth and death. If he gives boarding pass, you have to take the universal flight.
Okay.
So master of all arts is Jupiter. So the educational excellence, everything is from Mercury. The all pleasurable part of life is Venus. Like that, everybody plays a character there.
Okay.
So how these guys are in your horoscope, in your birth chart, is what matters. But again, you cannot read an horoscope, because a guy who is good in horoscopes, science of horoscope, he has a knowledge bank, so that is static in nature, whereas here everything is in movement. A static knowledge cannot read the moment. The nature is not going to allow you to see the future. The nature is...
But there are so many people predicting it.
Predicting what?
The future. The future for a person at least.
Overall they can say something here, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah. And most of the prediction fails also.
Yes.
Then, what prediction you have done? It's very simple. So what happens physiologically is a big subject.
Okay.
So every time everything is moving. Nothing is static in nature. All the planets are revolving around the sun, right?
Yes.
And the sun is moving in the galaxy. The whole family is moving.
Yes.
Sun is also not static. So everything is on the move.
Okay.
So there are constant change in your DNA coding according to the planetary positions, which is moving. You cannot predict, and you will not. The nature will not allow you. Basically, you can see they will tell more about the past. Basically, individuals run around with their horoscope to see the stability of the economic part of life. So, it is the astrological science decides both psychological and physiological part of every individual's life, not only for human, for every living species and the other components in the world.
Okay, doctor, if that's the case, on a full moon day, people who have mental illness, certain kind of mental illness, they get triggered more is what I hear.
Yeah, what happens is there's so much of microorganisms inside your body,
Okay.
out of which there are many microorganisms which does good to us. There are microorganisms which do bad to us.
Okay.
What do you mean good and the bad? These microorganisms to do good to us, when they eat and excrete, they are vital components for us, the excretion.
Okay.
When the bad microorganisms eat and excrete, they become toxic in nature for us. And everything gets into the blood, right?
Yes.
So on this full moon day and the new moon day, the bad microorganisms are very, because a lot of negative force come. So the bad microorganisms inside the body is very powerful, is more active rather.
Okay.
So they excrete a lot. That has impact over your brain. You got the point now?
Yes, doctor.
That is why in these days, this new moon day and full moon day and all that, they ask you not to eat. Stay away from food. So that these microorganisms will not have enough food to eat. So they can't excrete much. It goes that way. So people already who are having mental illness and behavioral disorder, their frequency of the percentage of their erratic behavior is going to be little more than what it is.
The usual. Okay.
Yeah. Already they are having erratic behavior. That's going to be further intensify on these days. This is the mechanism. The mechanism more so work with the microorganism. So without unless you understand the astrological science, unless you understand the relationship between the mankind and the cosmic wave, that is what is astrological science, you will not be able to study the imbalances in a physical organism with respect to the diseases, many types of diseases, and also the mental illness which is called the behavioral disorders. Thank you.
It is astonishing to know that our ancient science have followed this, have learned this way before, and even now the Western astrologers have not caught up with it. We've come to the end of this episode. We will continue more on psychological problems which we face in our day-to-day lives. This is your host, Susan, signing off. Please like, subscribe, and share to the ones you care. Love you all.